Hey guys, welcome back to Food Alley. We made it, folks. We made it to New York for Christmas. In this video, you'll be seeing everything I eat here for 24 hours. Without further ado, let's hop right in because it's gonna be a long ride. It is not my first time in New York, but it sure is my first time in the city during Christmas. My flight got there on the evening of the 24th, exactly 3 hours before Christmas Eve. And unlucky for us, all of the restaurants in Queens where we're staying has already been closed for the day. Well, all of them are, except for one. This is Palace Chicken. We found this place randomly on our way to the subway station, and it looks like the last place on earth that is still open before Christmas Eve. We order a combination rice with gyro and chicken, 6 pieces of fried chicken. Yes, 6. The other 4 were devoured before I even turned my camera on. Last but not least, fries for side. And to be very honest with you, we did not expect a restaurant out of nowhere tastes this good. Look at that crust on the gyro, the barbecue chicken on the glistening rice. A little of the creamy white sauce on top, and voila. You simply cannot ask for better food during the holidays evening. And guys, do not forget to order the fried chicken because that's what they're known for. Look at that crunchy brown crust around the chicken. This thing is just beautiful to look at. And you can already tell how good it's gonna be, but let's take a taste test. The meat just falls off the bone and it's just tender and juicy. It's just not dry. And it's also very crunchy on the outside as well. I cannot believe a small fast food joint like this nails every food they make. So let's do a quick rating. A solid 9 for the food, 8 for the service, 7 for the setting. It's only a fast food joint anyway, and an 8.5 for value of the money. We are off to a great start with an 8.1 score. It is 1 hour to Christmas Eve. We head straight to Times Square right after dinner where all of the festivities are happening. I've heard a lot about Christmas in New York, and to be here in person is something else. People from all over the world flood Times Square to celebrate. Within the sea of thousands of people, I thought I was drunk. We get to see the 80 feet tall Christmas tree over the Rockefeller Center for the first time. And how cool to see people ice skating right underneath. Across the street is Saks Fifth Avenue and the Christmas light show. For those who haven't seen it before, here's 1 minute from the show. If you haven't spent Christmas in New York before, I wholeheartedly recommend it. And for those who live in New York, I know these things are super touristy, but hey, what's wrong with being a tourist? Speaking of being tourists, the first thing we're trying to do on the Christmas day is going to the Brooklyn Bridge. But there are just way too many people, so we decided to give up and return halfway. We were all starving by the time we got down from the bridge, so we took a bus to Chinatown looking for food. This is the Chinatown in Lower Manhattan, not Flushing. We really wanted to try this Vietnamese restaurant where you would sit on plastic stools just like you do in Vietnam. But of course, they closed for Christmas Day. So after wandering around for another 15 minutes, we found this all-you-can-eat hot pot and barbecue place. And the waiting time wasn't crazy as well. We got our table in about 10 minutes. This is all-you-can-eat hot pot for $37 per person. There's also a 2-hour time limit, so we're not gonna waste any of that on the appetizers. Next, we gotta pick our soup base. The variety here is the same as anywhere else, but what sets them apart is the variety of protein choices. From different seafood assortments such as crab and squid, to organs such as duck blood, liver, kidney, and even brain. FYI, they also have all-you-can-eat skewer barbecue, and you can actually do both hot pot and barbecue for the price of $44 per person. But we decided to only do hot pot today. We ordered Sichuan mala and tomato as a soup base, and we're off to the sauce station. Here's my recipe for the hot pot sauce if you wanna know. A scoop of creamy peanut butter, a tiny bit of oyster sauce, cannot skip the chili oil, maybe have a scoop of soy sauce, you don't want it to be too salty, some sesame sauce, and last but not least, garnish with green onions, cilantro, raw garlic, and with a sprinkle of sugar. And that's it! Now you can return to your table and show up to your friends how good your sauce is. You're very welcome. And like Uma Thurman once said, don't you love it when you return to your table and find your food waiting for you? Yes. Yes, I do. Also, let's take a moment to appreciate the beautiful marbling on the meat. Then we split them equally into both pots. While waiting for the meat to cook, we're gonna try the soaked up tofu skin and a little bit of shrimp paste. No, not that kind of shrimp paste. Chinese hot pot has always been my favorite food, but maybe because of the cold of New York's winter, or because we were walking around without food for a long time, this pot right here just hits different. The lamb and the beef slices are super tender. All of the seafood and the meatballs are very fresh. We also ordered some frozen tofu, quail eggs, and instant ramen. We had a good sweat eating this like going to the gym or sitting in the sauna. For dessert, they have this custard pudding that is just creamy and soft and just melts in your mouth. It's such a delightful treat to help wash away the hot pot. Before moving on to our next spot, let's jump to a quick rating. A solid 8 for the food. The service here is quite amazing. You don't have to wait too long for anything, and they constantly checked on you. 9 out of 10. As for setting, check out this beautiful interior that they have. These paintings and the decorations. 8 out of 10. For pricing and value, $36 per person for all-you-can-eat hot pot is not too shabby, which brings us to another 8.1 score for the second restaurant in New York. It is getting dark as we leave Chinatown, so we decided to grab a drink nearby Bryant Park. We did manage to get a little tipsy, but thank God you don't have to drive in New York. Then we stumble upon this ramen bar nearby and the wait time is around an hour. Since we need time to digest the hot pot anyway, we decided to wait. Am I drunk or is it the same piece of sushi on my channel's profile? How did you get here? An hour is finally over and we get to our bar seats. However, we discover as soon as we sit down that they have just ran out of ramen noodles. Actually, not just. They've been running out of ramen for the past 2 days. I have never been to a ramen bar where they run out of ramen before. We had to replace the ramen noodles with either udon, spinach noodles, or rice noodles. Neither any of those are ideal, but we had no choice. For starter, we have some takoyakis. I've had many takoyakis before, but what I like about this place is the octopus in the center is still raw and chewy, which could be a setback for a few people that I know. And finally, we have the ramen bowls without the ramen noodles. I ordered mine with rice noodles, and to be very honest with you, this is a gorgeous ramen bowl. Spicy tonkatsu broth accompanied by a piece of chashu, a soy egg, pickles, corns, and some greens. So first thing first, we gotta try the broth. It is rich and spicy, just how I would like it. The rice noodles are surprisingly good replacement for the ramen. They have quite good texture and soaks up the broth pretty well. The piece of chashu pork is just fatty and it falls right apart as soon as you take a bite. Overall, the food is really good, so let's see how the rating goes. That should be an easy 8 for the food. For the service, even though everyone is very friendly and nice, I would have really appreciated if somebody told me as we wait in line that they have already run out of ramen noodles since yesterday, so the customers have options to go to a different spot. To receive that news after waiting for an hour and feel like getting stuck there is a disappointment. 6 out of 10. At least it's a very nice ramen bar with pretty decor. The seats are quite comfortable. I'll give it an 8. For the pricing, $19 to $20 per ramen bowl is on the edge of being expensive. 7 out of 10. The overall score is going to be 7.4. That's it folks, that was 24 hours of what I eat in New York. Within the next videos, we're gonna go to New York K-Town, Chinatown Flushing, and Little Italy, where all the food action's gonna be happening next. Thank you so much for tuning in. Remember to be on the lookout for the upcoming videos by subscribing. And until then, I'll see you next time.